Welkom bij Undercover Network, mijn naam is Stan en we staan vandaag in Eindhoven bij het Philipsstadion voor het persevent van Voetbal Manager 2012. Hello, I'm sitting here with Miles Jacobson. He's the studio director of Sports Interactive and he's going to talk about the new Football Manager 2012. Miles, can you tell us something about what is your part in the making of Football Manager 2012?
Well, I'm on FM 2012. I'm the director of the game, which means that I take all of the ideas that everyone has, and we have thousands upon thousands of ideas in a database for future iterations of the game. And I kind of put it all together as a jigsaw puzzle to decide what should go in. And then from that stage it goes over to the production team, who go and sit down with all the programmers and they work out what they can fit in the schedule. And then it comes back to me and I cut bits out, and then I might move other things across from other games. So it's not like a normal kind of designer position, because I don't sit there and design everything myself. Everyone at the studio is a designer. But I basically decide the features that go in, and then try and motivate everyone to get it all there, as well as running the studio, and I produce the other games that the studio makes as well. So it's quite busy.
Well, it must also be a stressful job, like being the director and putting all the pieces together. You also have some own ideas. They're in the game now, like you managed to help the programmers to think of your own idea to put in the game.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of the ideas come from me, but they come from everyone else as well. And from my perspective, I don't really care who the idea comes from. If the idea is good, then it should go into the game. But certainly, towards the end of development in the last few months, I'll look at everything that's inside the game and then work out what we want to change, what should be changed, what should be polished. But other people will come to me as well with things that they want to change. But yeah, kind of had final say. So basically, if the game is really good, it's because I've got a great team at Sports Interactive and everyone's worked really hard. And if it's bad, then it's my fault. But thankfully, this year it's really good. So no one can blame me. We can just thank the team for doing such a great job.
And well, we noticed also this year there's a tutorial version for new players in the game. Yep. How are you going to connect to the new users of the game? How are you going to respond to them? How are you going to make sure they buy the game?
Well, we want them to try the game first, so they can go and download the demo, give that a try, see if they like it. The tutorial is there literally to help people get more out of the game, whether they're new people or... I actually think a lot of people who've been playing the game for a while will learn stuff from the tutorial, and definitely from the how-to system, which is an extended help system, if you like, that's inside the game. But the key thing is for people to really try it, and it's why we release a free demo of the game. It's there for anyone to download. You get around 6 hours gameplay out of the demo, even if you play through it really, really quickly. But we're confident enough of our games to allow you to go and play the demo, and then if you do the demo and you end up buying the game, you can actually carry on your saved game afterwards as well. So the time isn't lost. The time that you spent playing the demo isn't lost.
So why did you choose for Steam this year?
Well, we went Steam only because I was presented 5 different copy protection solutions by Sega earlier in the year, and Steam was one. It was the least intrusive for the customer, which I think is very important. And secondly, the system itself is really, really good. It means that we can have achievements for everyone, and I think there's over 80 achievements inside the game, so that you can have bragging rights with your friends at how you've done. It also means that you can play the game on any computer in the world. So if you're on holiday, if you go on holiday somewhere sunny and it starts raining, and you find yourself a web cafe, you'd log into your Steam account, you can be playing the game in a few minutes, having downloaded it, which I think is a great function for everyone. But ultimately, whilst I would love to be in a world where we have no copy protection and we don't have to have any, the reality is that last year, when the game got cracked, about 8 days before it was released, we found pre-orders were going down because people were downloading the pirated game and cancelling their pre-order. And whilst we do quite well as a developer, we want to be able to do better, because the better we do, the more money we have to develop future versions of the game. It's just the nature of the business. So we have to have something there. I'm not stupid enough to think that every person who pirates our game is going to go out and buy the game, because that's not true. Some people pirate for the sake of pirating. Some people genuinely can't afford to buy the game. But because we have the demo as well, I don't think with FM that there should be any excuses for piracy. And Steam really is the most friendly way that we can protect the game effectively for not having piracy before the game's released.
Of course, you say that there's no excuse to download the game, but some people just want to play with their family members. I play with my dad, and I can't. Well, we find it a little bit stupid to buy 2 of the same games and install it on both computers.
And I fully understand that, and with other systems we've had in the past, it allowed it, despite the fact that the licensing agreement clearly states that it should only be installed for one person. Unfortunately, there just isn't a way around it at the moment for there to be a system where you can log in with the same account on 2 machines. Hopefully there will be in the future, because we really like the system that we had in 2009 that allowed you to install on 5 machines, because we thought that was fair. We understand that there are family members out there. Unfortunately, that system, for a start, it didn't work on the day of release, so most people who got the game on day of release couldn't play it. It was the worst 3 days of my life. And secondly, that company don't exist anymore, so they just use their technology for patents. So that user-friendly system isn't there, but you should talk to Steam, see if they can sort it out so that 2 people can be logged in on an account, in which case then it would be possible.
Of course, there are a lot of new changes in Football Manager 2012. What can you tell us a bit about the new 3D engine? Because you have been using it for a while now. Mm-hmm. What is the main difference in this in 2012 and in the previous versions?
This year we've concentrated more on animations than ever before, and around the side of the pitch as well, to just try and make the game look a lot better. We've put in extra animations for goalkeepers because we felt that they were lacking animation-wise. We've put in extra animations for kicking, for passing, and also for strikers, particularly when they're in one-on-one situations, to give you a better indication of why they're not scoring at the time, on a one-on-one. We've also got a whole new crowd system inside the game. We've got all new stadiums inside the game. There are new outside scenes around the game. The crowd even have scarves. They have flares if you're playing in a league where flares are prevalent. So it's this year it's the graphical stuff that's changed really, and it looks quite pretty. It doesn't look like FIFA, but we're not trying to look like FIFA. We're trying to look like football is on the TV, and we've got a way to go yet, but we will get there.
Yeah, because a lot of persons are putting some. They say FIFA is better and FIFA, but this is a completely different game. But how are you trying to promote your game above like FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer? Are you doing anything new?
We're not trying to promote our game above them, because both FIFA and Pro Evo are really good games, but they're completely different to what we do. We're trying to simulate a game of football, so we take time splices every 1/8 of a second. With FIFA and Pro Evo, they're taking them every 8 seconds, because if you were to sit there and watch a 90-minute match of FIFA, you're going to get a lot of goals, right? It's going to be 22-20 or something ridiculous like that. With us, we simulate the full 90 minutes. So they're completely different things. It's just the subject matter of football happens to be the same, but they're completely different games. For us, it's about getting people to think. and to create their own story. Whereas in FIFA, you don't really have stories.
And what about, you play your game often, like you play yourself, and what is your favorite team?
I play the game far too much. Far too much. Football Manager should be played in moderation. Don't play it the same way that I do. I have quite big cycles when I'm playing the game as well. So I will start my career game on the day that the game comes out, because why should I get to start my career before anyone else can? And I always start as Watford, which is the team I support. And if there's a time when Watford become really good, like if Watford get into the Champions League and we're winning the Champions League, then that's the stage that I'll move across and play in one of the other countries' leagues and have a bit of fun. And now with the Add Remove League feature, I can have the game being nice and fast and then add the Brazilian League a few seasons down the line. Then I stop playing the game around March time, which is when the new features start going into the next version. That's when we kind of have a feature lock, and that's when I start playing the next one to put my director's hat on and try and get the game as good as possible.
So your game is also a lot of based about fan feedback.
Oh, completely. I mean, a load of the ideas that are inside the game come from the different communities, whether that be our forums or the other unofficial forums that are out there, or the Facebook group. We're constantly looking, and we have people whose jobs are to go through the different forums, looking for ideas, looking for the feedback, because we don't all have time to be on the forums every single minute of every day. I think Twitter keeps me pretty busy. At Miles SI on Twitter, if you're interested. I do reply. But we have all these different ways of interacting with people and interacting with the fans. So long may it continue, because they've kept us going for 19 years. We've been releasing games for 19 years. And a bunch of people from the community, myself included, are now involved with making the game. I think that's one of our big strengths as a developer, is the way that we listen to people.
And where do you see Football Manager the game in the future? What major change can we see? You said about the more improvements than a new game, yeah. But till how far can you improve the game till it's perfect?
I've already got 550 features down for FM13 that we want to do. That's before we've even had our feature meetings for the game, just of things that have gone through other feature meetings and haven't made it in. So we've got no shortage of ideas. We've already got ideas for 13 and 14. I'll probably start looking at some stuff for 15 as well in December, January time, once we've got 13 nailed and exactly what we want to do. As long, of course, as Football Manager 2012 does okay and Sega doesn't shut us down. But I think we should be all right. Sonic called me last night and said that we were looking pretty good. So hopefully we'll be okay. We just need Tails to agree now as well. He can be a little bit more difficult sometimes, but I'm sure he'll be okay. So yeah, next year's our 20th anniversary as well of releasing games. So I think you can expect a few surprises from us next year. A few fun little things we're looking to do next year. I hope to come over as well, and thankfully it's not just me that says it's a good game. All the previews have said the same as well, and the reaction for the demo has been fantastic. So thanks to everyone who's tried it out already, and I really hope you enjoy it when it comes out on October the 21st. The reason why so many English people go to Amsterdam and get really horribly drunk is because it's raining, so they have to stay inside the bath.
We zijn net terug van de stadiontour door het Philipsstadion in Eindhoven. We hebben voetbalmanager 2012 mogen zien. We hebben Miles gesproken. Verder is ook nog bekend dat de voetbalmanager-reeks niet zal terugkeren op de consoles zoals de Xbox en de PlayStation 3 en ook niet op de Vita en de Nintendo 3DS. Verder is bekend dat Nvidia heeft getest en dat ook voetbalmanager 2012 te spelen is in 3D. Dus voor alle kijkers thuis, veel plezier!